Alright. I wonder if I'm being heard or not. Sounds like I am. Cool. That's the stream test done. Trying to let the people know. Coolio. Oh, wait, hold on. The music! Hold on, back over here real quick. Somewhat scuffed, don't mind me. Ah! There we go. That should be working now. Should have some music. And chat box. Yes. I'm basically doing this to hold myself accountable. Okay. Letting the TikTokers know. Alright. That's just about all I can do. Not having many followers and all. But yeah, this is mainly accountability. So that much is fine. I am working on this. And if I get it done in time, it should be the next Thursday upload on TikTok. Once I figure out exactly what I'm doing. Which is always up in the air. You never know what will happen. And I'm going to do a little trick called streaming to myself. But like literally I'm going to open myself up in another tab. Come on. Work, please. There we go. Baby. Okay, back over here. And if that will update, please. Yes. Alright, cool. But yeah, this is the sketch so far, and I'm just following a very light line art with this feather brush that I'm using. It's one of my favorite brushes. I did it myself and couldn't tell you how I did that. But it has all those little spirals, like little panes. I find it to be a very satisfying brush. Personally, look at that squiggle, squiggle. I was originally considering using it for line art, just in case. And it is, it's a really pretty brush. But it also drives me insane, like, with thickness and trying to get that right. But yeah, it could have been good. But for now, I'm just going to use it for the feathers and consider not using any line art at all. But yeah, and you know what? I'm going to just look at the details a bit here. Hold on. I'm also going to change the color of this line art, because I don't know why it's a different color. That still isn't the same color. Whatever. Well, what is art if not a little crazy and weird and wacky? But we got the gutter there, we got some feathers. God, when did... Oh yeah. Some feathers here so it feels like it's flowing, and you've got this idea of it going... Excuse me. But basically like that. And I wanted to record this on a VOD for two reasons. One, because it holds me accountable, and two, because the time-lapse feature on Medibang, which is the app I use, it does it purely by stroke. Which means instead of seeing a line like that, you literally just... potential disaster there. Instead of seeing the actual mouse move, or like the actual like ink come on, sorry, the only way you only see it just appear like that, which takes me out of the immersion when I'm watching back my videos before I upload them. So I figured, I should figure out a way around that. The other thing I like to do is when I'm colouring, I just pick random colours just to look at contrast, but then at the end I do quite a bit of changing to make it fit a palette for a more involved sketch like this. Okay, back to the feathers, methinks. Is there anything on that layer? No, which means this was the layer I was working on. Cool. I actually want to start on a slightly darker colour. Okay. Now, I promise you I've seen a bird before and know what wings look like. But you know what? It's an angel, so... what are you gonna do about that, I am cleaning that up there because I don't think I want it to be cut off the page too much. But I also want it to look big, and I think at the moment that might be affecting my ability to comprehend how big it is. There we go. That's probably more like what I want happening here. Okay. Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Because that area is covered, I should be thinking about... I really enjoy a good silhouette. I don't think there's anything better than like a really well done silhouette of an item. And I think it's a really... when you look at marketing and visual elements in marketing, a lot of the time a really good silhouette isn't present unless you take away the background. So you get a lot of logos, like even Coca-Cola, you can recognize it, but on the bottle it could be any bottle unless you have the color. So the idea here would be that when I remove the line art and I remove the background and all the context of the rest of the piece, it should still be somewhat identifiable. Using character design principles. It is also a principle of marketing because you want people to be able to recognize your brand for brand loyalty and stuff like that. It's also worth noting that I'm not a marketing student or anything like that. I just, yeah. Also, I don't know why I'm rendering this as an individual feather. That's really stupid of me. Oh well. Too bad. It's not too bad, but I also can't stand it, so I'm going to do a little bit of transform magic. I'm going to say that probably works just fine as this second sort of blade just there. I should really look at some examples of what wings are meant to look like. Oh well. I mean, I've literally had pet birds before, why can I... Birds are really complicated for no good reason. Alright, time to look at a wing picture. Hopefully I won't run into the supernatural fandom. That would be really unfortunate. Okay, let's take a look at these. So I guess... No, you know what? Fuck it. Stylized. We're stylized, yeah. It looks however I want it to look. Which is why I'm gonna go and copy paste these. There we go. Not quite that much. Okay. And then I need a feather that's kind of straight. The other thing is that I'm not drawing it as a full wing, I'm keeping it in mind that it's partially obscured. Hello Ditto. I'm doing art on stream. It's a rare moment for me, but I have an assignment due, and I thought to myself, I still want to do art, but if I do this, I'm technically being productive in some capacity. If you know anything about how to draw birds, I'd love to hear it. Yeah, I'm also doing it in reverse. So at the moment, oh god, drawing a house with wings. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Oh, called it No Sight for a reason. But it's for this book called House of Angels that doesn't exist. Look, you can learn to draw. Is this the work of someone who knows how to draw? No, this is someone who watches Lobster. And it has an effect, a very real effect on people. I reckon if you just pulled out a piece of paper and a pen, you could get something done. Where am I? My layer organization is a nightmare. Where am I? There. Oh, well, pixel art's still art. I can do pixel art if I go on a really low resolution canvas. Do you do pixel art on a particular program or just whatever and lower the canvas size? Oh, interesting. Do you do any animation on there, or do you just do pixel art? I don't know why I'm saying that in such a condescending way. No, I find usually when there's an animation feature on a site, people will start doing animation. Even if it's like something they were never interested in. Yep, I figured. I feel like feathers are one of the things where it's either you get it done immediately and it's great, or you're sitting there for 3 hours and there's not much of an in-between. Like theoretically you can just go like that, and most people will get that that's a feather, because it's like a simple symbol. Of course you could be more clear, but yeah, pain in the ass. See, Lopter, he only draws faces and bodies. I don't draw those very often because I'm bad at them. There we go. There. I feel like when doing a feather, it's all about the weight. I think I do it a bit over on this leaf here, but you want to have those gaps, because when you're looking at a feather, there's often a shape or a silhouette that begins to form. A bit like that, but like less janky. I guess we complement each other's weaknesses. We've known each other for a while now, and a lot of people didn't even know that he did art, whereas I was always sort of a creative person, so people knew. And I think when you're just beginning to get into art, you do lean towards faces and drawing people, because it's a very recognizable skill that you're able to depict something like that. Whereas if you go for more obscure art, like I was raised on, what's her name? Jess, what's your name? Oh, there's an artist who I've just known my entire life who does more abstract art. And because of that, when I think about art, love to think of skill and like having a correct way of balancing. I think of fluid motion and instinct, because I find it more fun. And sometimes a really rigid instinct where everything is clean cut and very marketed, it's almost more intriguing to me, because if everything is on a flat canvas and you cannot distinguish what is in the foreground and background, your eyes will instinctively find what it wants to focus on. So it's like manufactured focus versus natural focus. That being said, there's a very clear foreground, background in this one that I'm doing right now. But that's because in book cover design, you want to have a very clear message. Like if this is going to be House of Angels, I want there to be really obvious angel iconography. Ooh, actually, maybe I should have some trumpets in here. That could potentially go hard. I'll see how much I can get done. I'll also stream for longer than 20 minutes today. I feel like I'm getting the shape messed up. I can fix it because I have to go over it in white, especially where there are less shadows. That looks like a bot there. How do I get rid of it? There it is. Yippee! Problem solved. Yeah, this brush really likes to be picky about the direction it starts with for its stroke pattern. But it really is probably like my favorite brush I've ever made. Because it fans out like that. Now there we go. That's a bit more feather-like. I could even just leave things like that in the air. Because if I do that, boom, feather. Okay. Sometimes less is more. Because a lot of these are just a little too... they've lost the featheriness. Wonder... yeah, that's not gonna fix it. Oh well, it's fine. No one's looking too closely. When doing... this is an excuse, and it's copium, but you always have to think how it looks way zoomed out. So right now, this little crown, this like area is forming a sphere. I don't want that, but it should be fine. I probably just need another one up here. Such a balance of things I want spaced out and things I want close together. It's all about the silhouette. There we go. Yeah, so that's just opened that up a bit, and then I could even... because realistically, if you have angels in your neighborhood, they're probably not perfect angels either. Yeah, that's looking fine. This area isn't. That area is looking like it could be significantly better. Oh well. Not right now, it's not gonna be. Oh my god, sometimes my sentences are just bad. Should also mention that with how I'm doing these feathers, I have no idea how I'm going to do this house. I know partially that there's this window here that's going to be broken, so I can have multiple light sources. It's going to be like backlit by the sun, and it has light peeking through the curtains and stuff. I want the house to look alive. It's actually making me think this area here should be yellow. Yeah, it's about there. Yeah, about there. Yeah. Very simple, make it glow effect. I'm anything if not afraid of not being realistic. Does that even make sense? Oh my god, I promise I'm doing a creative writing degree and I know how words work. It just doesn't come out on the stream. I could probably ask one of the typography nerds I know if there's a correlation between the Twitch font and the ability to construct full sentences. Like how Comic Sans is apparently good for people with dyslexia and young children. What do they have in common? No. I remember as a child getting really just enraged over Comic Sans. It felt like they were treating me like a child, and I did not appreciate that. Should not have started at the bottom or top. Go start out here and let it fan in. There we go. That's what a feather looks like. The thing about font hate is that it really comes down to how often you spend looking at them. I don't like Actos and Arial because they're default fonts, so if I look at a document that's been published in the fonts, I just think, lazy. You could have done better. You could have put in just that little bit of effort, even if it was just a Helvetica. Come on. But then some fonts are unreadable, and there's the reason why you would change it to an unreadable font is to be a dick. In Comic Sans, I mentioned it earlier, it just made me feel like a child, and I didn't like that. I've grown fond of it now, though. Do you have a favorite font, or do you just, are you hearing me talk about fonts and just going, what? Jerkerman. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Alright. Now, what could possibly possess you to use that font? You could potentially, I mean, maybe it's just because I write essays, but if I am like editing and writing essays and long form written content, if it was in Jerkerman, I think I'd cry. But also, yeah, it's fun. It's definitely fun. Not practical, but fun. No, that's 100%. They don't have to be professional, serious, or anything like that. There's a degree in which they have to be readable, though, particularly long-form content. Yeah, you wouldn't use it in an essay because it's just difficult. But if you're, like, casually doing writing, it makes sense to do it. That's on a different layer. I'm just gonna bring them onto the same layer. Why not? I won't regret that later. That would be ridiculous. Okay. Yeah. There you go, that's beginning to look more like wings. I could still copy and paste it down there. I feel like the wings look smaller than I want them to be. You know what? I reckon Jerkerman's probably a really good channel font. I don't understand how to change my channel font, so it's just going to be stuck on that default. Let's move chat a little bit there. Looks like it was clipping a bit. Also, I do think, if you're a content creator, like how my microphone is scuffed, if it's just a little bit unreadable there, I think that's really funny. Ooh, that's a little too dark. Yeah, I feel like scuff is really underrated. go. And then, what even is that layer? Right, I need to leave that undisturbed as possible. Yeah, that can stay that way. Yeah, it's looking like I'm not doing any line art, but I know the shapes. It'll be scuffed though. I wish scuffed was an easier word to say though, to be fair. It's sort of a pain in the ass. Alright, now I need to add some white back in to make it feel a bit more majestic, like this area. Because this wing is technically more realistic, but the white one is sort of where the vibe is meant to be. But I do need to build up that area there in opacity. There we go. Then, oh god, it begins. What have I done here? Oh, it's just, yeah, okay, cool. Don't need that going all the way down. Yes. About being an appropriate amount of subtle, while still being clear in what I'm trying to convey. It's not like writing an academic paper, where you must be overly specific and cry to yourself. Yes, I am using a mouse to draw. I feel like I should have established that a while ago, but yes. And you will hear that clicking frequently. Yeah, it's too much there. What's happening there? What on earth? I'm also using a USB microphone, so no matter what I do, it won't let me have my voice be heard without the clicking and the keyboard. And then if you hear any other strange sounds, that's probably my fan, or me drinking or pouring tea. Yeah, I feel like you can tell these lines weren't drawn with a pencil. Do you use a mouse or a stylus when you do pixel art? Ooh. Yes. I think pencils are overrated, and like pens and styluses. Paint is fun, using my hands is fun. having that tactile connection to a canvas, that's all good. But I feel like the stylus it limits you on how creative you can be, in a way. Because you're like, oh, it's no different to traditional art. Or it's at least more similar. So you don't get as many strategies that you'd only get by being familiar with a digital canvas. That might be my strange opinion. Not a hot take, just an odd thing to have an opinion on. So I feel like more people think, oh, it makes sense you're familiar with drawing traditional, or most people have drawn traditionally at least once as a child. You would want that familiarity and that dexterous connection. But I'm like, no, you know, if I'm drawing on a digital canvas, I want to use a mouse. Oh my god. I feel like I could use this brush for eyelashes. I could be wrong though. Eyelashes are hard. I've been at war with them my whole life when it comes to drawing faces. Yeah. It's definitely what you're more comfortable doing it with. You can't really generalize anything about art. It gets to the part of art that is about the artistic process. I will say, another benefit of doing art live is that it just becomes that little bit more impossible for anyone to claim it's AI. Not that I think my art looks like AI in any way. It's just a lot of the time when people are saying, oh, that's AI, that's not AI, they go, no human would ever connect things in that way. And then I look at this mess and I go, yeah, right, yeah, no human would ever connect lines in that particular way. That would be insane. Except for me, who is doing that. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that looks enough like a wing. Now I need to figure out how to make it more grand. A bit like that, yeah. Make it big. Big wing. When I was in the sketching phase of this, I made the house smaller originally and then I drew the wings on. And so at that point the wings looked massive and huge and awesome. But it's difficult to do that. Yeah. It's making me upset because, like, I don't know if you've heard of the Magnus Archives, but sometimes you're intentionally trying to make art look weird because it matches with the scene. Especially derealization and body horror. They're getting attacked relentlessly by AI, but realistically the people doing AI are not the same crowd as the queer body horror enjoys. They do exist, though. There are people in that community who are using AI, and it is just... like, why? Why do you do that to yourself and everyone else who is trying to enjoy the same space as you? It's bad manners. Do I accept that being cut off? You know what? Yes, I do. No, wait, hold on. Gotta get that one that's not cut off, then change the layer. I wish people would go back to the real way of doing art lazily. Copy and paste. There we go. That looks sufficiently like angel wings, I think. It's got like the triple wing. And then that whole area will be covered by the house. Wait, there's something else I can do there. Alpha. I just got an alert on my phone with a reminder of something I needed to do. And it's just find lamb. And I could not possibly explain why that is what I was saying I needed to do with my time. I might blur that a little. There we go. Just add some definition there. Ah, not quite like that. Hold on. Wait, no. That is right. Cool. Boom. Angel wings. I might actually just... do that a bit. Ba-ba-ba. Yeah, real. Why label alarms like what they're there for when you can label them just random stuff? Oh my god. What am I doing? There we go. There's the color I want. Yeah, I thought so. Put that on normal. There you go. Those are some wings, and then if I get rid of all the sketch layers, yeah, that's still effectively wings, I think. Just wings and then that light down there. Oh, fascinating. Okay. I'm going to combine all those layers like a fool. Yeah, the thing about the program I'm using also is there is no snap to grid that works properly. So I have to be, like, I cannot get an actual symmetrical line. I have to just guess, presume, hope. I can somewhat tell that this isn't perfectly symmetrical. But again, do I really care? Do I really care at all about what this looks like in the end? I do a little bit. I mostly care about the time-lapse, but I can't really open the time-lapse menu. I'm using Medibang. It's great. The beauty of Medibang is that you either create something with it and it looks horrible, or you create something with it and it looks good, but the final render just pixelates because it hates you. So no matter what I do, it will come out looking a little dodgy. even on a bigger canvas. Because that's often the solution people have. For a long time, I used Medibang on my iPad, and I drew with my finger. But I didn't know how to change the canvas size because I was 12. It was not a good time. Okay. Now that's actually behind that. Alright, what I need to work on now... I need to simplify my colours. I need to be very careful about that. Okay. Oop. Actually, yes. That was a horrible, horrible center, but whatever. Nothing's there, that's good. Because I can make a house. I'd say Medibang is probably the worst program to end up using as a first timer though. It's unfortunate how many people end up there and then never leave, myself included. Don't. I've potentially done that wrong. That should be fine. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like you can use whatever art program you want as long as you're confident that's the art program you want to use. Like, I'm pretty sure Lobster uses Critter, which I hear a lot of people talking about, but I've also... It's one of the things where it's like I'm aware it exists, but I only know one person who actually uses it. I don't even remember how I found Medibang. It just appeared one day. Does your brother also stream, or does your brother just do art casually? Those are the only options now. You either stream or you're casual. No. Oh. Yeah, real. Oh, wrong one. Whenever I let my sister use an art program, I end up regretting it. She's not bad at art, I should mention that. She just has no idea how to use the program, and when my sister doesn't know how to do something, she ends up just drawing whatever comes to mind first, and it's not always easy to explain that. Oh lord, that's not good. Alright. There you go. That's a little better. Now I'm questioning how much detail I want to do on this. Oh, the script's frozen. I said on my phone. What's happening there? Yeah, that's just on my phone. Good job, phone. Very reliable for chat and nothing else. Come back. At the moment, the color palette is looking disturbing. It will get there eventually. Hopefully. I just have to imagine what it will be like when there are no lines. It's difficult at the moment. Oh, but you know what I need to do? Bit of that magic. Yeah. Oh, anytime. I don't think I've ever caught you streaming, but I don't know if that's a time zone thing or if I'm just really random with when I go on Twitch. There you go. Yeah, I'm streaming fully just whenever I feel like it for now. But I think that's something that's good about Twitch. I feel like it's better to have a consistent time if you have a big audience, but when you're just starting out you can kind of just do it whenever. You've been streaming longer than I have. Have you been streaming longer than Lobster, or what happened there? Because I don't know. It's hard because Lobster never talked about streaming, ever. Kept it a secret. I found him on accident. And then I went into his Discord and I started trying to overthrow him. Oh, good times. But because of that, because I didn't like come in as a stranger, it's harder to know exactly where people came from and how you got to know him. That's frustrating. Yeah, nice. Are you doing anything for your first trimester of streaming? I feel like stream anniversaries are a weird thing that some people do. That being said, I reckon I'd do one. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, that's that one! That's actually kind of cool. I forgot about this brush. Yeah, no, he's been streaming for a while. I did know that. Longer than 3 months. What's happening here? Why am I being dumb? It's because it's the same color, that's why. Got there eventually. You know what? I'm accepting this jank. That's okay. Oh, it's doing this to me again. Wait, it's not quite what I want here. I want it... Why? It's some layer, that's why. Let me just get the section I need. Why is that so hard? Looks like I'm doing this manually. Okay. I see what's going wrong here. No. Why? Sometimes what I feel for this app is dread and pain and suffering beyond discuss. Why won't it let me go back? There we go. And it's a little more what I'm looking for, but it's difficult to know. Those are on different layers. Oh, the solution is always very easy. Nope, never mind. Take it back. There is no such thing as a solution. Everything is horrible. Okay. I know what I'm doing. Everything is intentional and on purpose. Yes, creative liberties indeed. Backing that up a bit. Not that much. There we go. No one's looking too closely at that. I hope. But the poor fool did not know is that everyone was caring much more than they anticipated. That's probably worst case scenario. There we go. That's a bit better. Is it obvious that I'm trying to avoid doing the house? God, everything but the actual house. Oh, I see a problem. Good, won't be affected. Bump. Look, it's fine. How long have I been working on this now? Over an hour, because I started doing it before the stream. How fun. Okay. Ugh. I don't want to do it. It's hard. I need to change the sun. It's not the right color. I'm unhappy with it. Should change it over here though. That would be slightly better. No, it's not the sun's fault right now. Although... Oh, I fuck with that. I fuck with the sun being red. Again, I can change it later. It's not set in stone yet. So if I don't like it, I can go, oh, actually, I liked it better before. Thank you for believing in me. Words. Thank you for believing in me. Now, do I want that to have contrast? I'll decide that later. For now, I can go like that. Haha. Now that is a little more holy, but unholy, like Sam Smith's holy. I wonder if I'll have more tea tonight than last night. I've had a teapot, a cup of tea, and I'm working on my 1.5 litre bottle. But yesterday I had 8 litres, so I don't know. I slightly overbrewed this one. I should have brewed it in cold water instead of warm. You never know when you're going to end up drinking the tea that you made. Yeah, I'll figure that one out later. Cross that bridge something something. Road. Let's doing the road. What kind of tea? Right now I'm having the Yumundi Earl Grey, which is Earl Grey with lemon myrtle. And Earl Grey is just Ceylon tea, lemon myrtle, and bergamot oil with orange rind and rose petals. To overcomplicate it and also be specific. I will need to change that. Ooh. In the time-lapse of this, which I'll eventually put on TikTok, at the very beginning, I started with a title, and I completely abandoned it. The thing about designing book covers for books that don't exist is that I have total creative freedom over what it can be in the end, which is a lot of fun. Oh, I don't want that to be... Really? Oh, I recommend having an Earl Grey. The lemon myrtle part, can't really... Lemon myrtle is native to Australia, and I'm not confident that it's in places other than Australia, because it's not even particularly common here unless it's in herbal teas. I've written a lot about myrtle. It's actually the same plant family as pomegranate. Maybe I want it there. Desaturated. You know, that's good enough. Unless... And now it's beginning to look like a watermelon. What's moving with that? That was freaky. Okay. I want it to just be visible. Also, no, I have not ever looked at a road before, and I could not tell you where exactly this picture is set. You've never seen Earl Grey being sold where you are. That's upsetting. Get it online. Buy it, I dare you, right now. Okay. I'm doing this for spacing, by the way. Because I understand it would look... like, that's obviously not what a road is meant to look like, except I am enjoying how that looks like as a concept. Okay. I don't want that middle one there. Then I'm going to get rid of those ones. Maybe with the other one. What have I done wrong here? There we go. Now they should be evenly spaced, which is all you can really ask for in this economy. There you go. I guess the other thing about Earl Grey is that a true Earl Grey is quite difficult to come by. And that's just because a true one is made with bergamot oil, and technically it's only really sold in one place. Can I get another one visible there? No. Okay, cool. Yeah, basically Earl Grey tea is any black tea that is infused with citrus, if you're being really generous, but bergamot more specifically. And it's based off a Chinese method of preparing tea where you preserve it in the skin of a citrus peel. What's it called? Never mind, I'm not going to remember that in a million years. It's not happening. My brain doesn't love me that much. Okay. I seem to be getting closer to the stage where I have to do the house. This house model that I've got on here, I've drawn it so many times now. I'll just get a lighter color there. This house model, it's stuck in my head. Like, I've drawn it multiple times now. It's almost scary how frequent it's that house. I'll see if I have any examples of that specific house being in my art without revealing on Twitch who I am and having to delete the VOD. Yeah. I do have pictures of it. It's pretty much this same house that's here, and with like a slightly different structure on the side. It's not even the whole main house, it's that very specific outdoor area. But I basically, when I was originally sketching it, I was like, alright, I have to avoid making it the exact same house. Like, I can't just draw the same house again and again. This house has a purpose, it's unrelated to this project. Delete those. Oh, no line art house. And I don't even know how I'm going to do those, like plants. Oh, pain. No, it'll be fine. I am going to start off by doing those windows though. Should also be a little smart and put these in folders. Oh, that looks so much more cursed. Because it doesn't have the sun in the background. Which is making me think that needs a little bit of help from the blur tool. So it doesn't look like a hard circle. Another thing I'm considering doing is making this an eye. Because, what am I doing in here? What's that? Nothing. Cool. Ah, not this again. Okay. I can technically make that an eye, which is a little more biblical. I'm also trying to avoid using pure black at the moment. But yeah, the part of me that deeply enjoys a bit of Bible fan art and every now and again craves this particular vibe. But it does not entirely work with how the art style of the feathers is looking. Which reminds me, I must recommend this artist and content creator. I feel compelled every time. The stuff they create is just beautiful. There we go. That's right, I'm promoting a bigger content creator than me. That's how it goes, right? But yeah, Wolfie does Bible fan art. Like, it's amazing. I'll see if I can get a more specific example. They kind of blew up a while ago for drawing Jesus holding a lamb, but in fan art style. And they recently did, I'm not sure if this is technically ethical as a means of spreading artwork, but that, excuse me, this is a work of art, and I could never hope to be anything like Wolfie in terms of their art, and no one ever could aspire to be like Wolfie. And anyone who puts Wolfie's work in an AI generator thing sucks and should die. I will defend Wolfie with my life. Like, this is just, it's beautiful. Back to this though. I think technically if I just have that very slight, I am going to keep this up for a little bit, just while I'm considering it as an option still. Oh. Okay, house. How do houses work? They have bedrooms and structures and architecture, and they're really just a 2D net made into 3D. Could I build this house out of paper? Absolutely not. It's not even complicated. I think because of Sims 4, I get particularly caught up in roofs and how they're supposed to be drawn. Yeah. The more I look at the eye, the more I like the eye. Let me look at that with a bit more context. Where'd the road go? Need to delete that layer. It's a scan. Horizon line. That's why that was important. God. And the other thing is because I'm working with shadows up there. You even see that? You can see the cursor. I wasn't sure if the cursor could be seen on this, to be honest. I didn't really set it up in a proper way. Alright. I can do this. This isn't as hard as I'm feeling like it is going to be. I just need to clean up my folders. The other thing about Medibang is that it's very prone to crashing. I've had work disappear before, and it's just... If I lose art on Medibang, I do not recreate it. I refuse. It was hard to make in the first place, it's going to be hard to make the second time. Now the angel wings are beginning to look a little too detailed. Let me just see what happens if I go... That could potentially work. Another thing I can do is I can duplicate the angel wings, make them reverse. Ooh! The devil is here. And do that. And that just... I don't entirely know what it does, but it makes the details look more correct. It slightly changes the colour. But I always like doing that test to see if I'm happy with the composition of a particular element or not. That will need to change just there. I don't know. I need to get some of this house done, though I hate the house. Okay. I think one of the ways I can make myself... How much is in that one folder? Jesus. That should be in two separate folders, to be honest. No, it's fine. It's not... This is why I stream, to hold myself accountable. But I am going to do that, and copy that. There we go. Now I can see it, and I can't just ignore it and pretend it's not there. Okay. Oh, I forgot about the entire front decking of the house. Okay. You have to build from the bottom up, is the other thing with this. Okay. That's that colour, which means... Canvas. Go slightly lighter. Like that. Oh. Yeah, that's technically fine. Or is it? Ah. I can be more precise. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. And then... that one, I go into the transform. I think once I discovered this particular trick with the free transform, everything changed. Suddenly, it was much easier to do 3D work on this otherwise entirely 2D platform. That appears to be aligned. There we go. I just need to make that straight. not quite straight, but it's fine. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, you just need to... No one's allowed to notice that it's not straight. God damn it. I'm seeing that this perspective is slightly wonky, and I'm choosing to ignore it. I cannot ignore that gap. That is horrible. There we go, that solves that problem. And then if I get rid of the line art... Yeah, that looks about right. Okay. To the platforms. There we go. Tiny canvas. Well, not tiny canvas, but detailed part of the canvas. Without being too detailed, because ultimately it's a waste of time to put too much detail into cover art. Should that be darker? That should be darker, actually, than this one. This one, no. The light's coming from behind. There is no light source coming from the front of those steps. Which means they should both be dark. Alright. Bye-bye. You enjoy your family. I'm gonna keep streaming. I'm suffering a little bit inside and being confused about stairs. As long as they're defined. Should be fine. Ugh, that's how stairs look. What layer is that on? Oh no. Where am I? There. Okay. Combine those three, and then just gonna go brightness. Yeah, there. Ah, just knocked my headphones off. Why did I do this to myself? I did not even think about that needing to be a straight line. Ah, why do I do it? Just to suffer. I reckon I'm gonna go for another half hour of just talking to myself, because Ditto is gone. No, it's chill. It's important to have a life outside of whatever the fuck this website is. Right, gotta keep doing this. Come back, line up. Oh, I made fences! Oh, why do I do this to myself? That means I have to evenly space them out, and that's not a really good function on Medibang. Medibang says do it all by scratch. You fool. It's fine, I'm happy. I'm content with my decisions, and I only slightly lost the game. It's all chill, and all good here. It is cold in my room. And I have to have a fan running or my computer will kill itself. Am I allowed to say that? I don't even think about Twitch service. I don't think I've actually looked at it yet. I should though. I have a memory of not reading it. Okay. How does that look? Yeah, that looks fine, but I think I want it to be darker so there can be more contrast. No, because then that needs to be darker again as well. I'm just gonna combine those. Again, there's no light source coming from this side. Only from behind. Oh, it's so confusing! Ah. Oh, and I forgot I need to do those other feathers. It's fine. It's fine. Pain. Pain, pain, pain. Alright. What am I doing? Okay. If that needs to be darker, they can both be dark, but I just think it needs to be there. And oh, freaky colors. It's the best kind. There, that looks like it's matching up with this a little bit. Let me go here. Let me darken that a bit. No, that needs to go in that direction to about there. Ah. There, and then darken. There. That vent is looking, not vent, that drain is looking a lot more green now. But I'm also still not happy with its color, so I don't want to do the house. No, I gotta do the house, and then I need to do my essay. Because then I would feel like I've been productive to some extent. And once again, what more can I really ask for from myself, knowing how I work? Okay. Actually, don't think I want that color. Ah. Cool. And this can actually be a little more over here, actually. Yes, that color. One might call it grey. And then I get to choose exactly where the corners of this house are. Excuse me. But that appears to be the horizon line. There. No, don't bobble. That's like the last thing I needed. Is that monkey or what? Should focus on it afterwards. Okay. Cool. That's where that is. And then that should be the next darkest bit. Difference. That might be what I'm looking for. Okay. That has to go there. Excuse me. Ow, my eyes. There, I think. That has to attach there. That line needs to... Oh, it's a good thing I know exactly what I'm doing and I'm not suffering. Come on, perspective line. I know I drew you in. I just should have drawn you in slightly better to help myself later on. There we go, that looks about how I want it to look. In mind. Just like that. Boom, perfect. There's nothing cursed happening anywhere in any capacity. Square 2. first of all, then I need to go back and multiply. So then I can't see that. Except if I reverse the color, then it's all in white, and then I can see. And then I did that, and then I take out that for a little bit. That should help. Why can't I see that now? Because it's too low. Okay, that's getting banished. Oh, God. Ah! 3D objects, why? Okay. Ah. Not quite there. More like here. No, that is more accurate. Does it look good? I'll figure that out afterwards. Sometimes that's all you can do. I'll put that there. That should be lighter than that. No, it shouldn't. No, it will be because it's the light. No, because of the curtains. Oh! How does it look? There is a light source coming from this window, which means this wall is going to be lighter than that wall. Even though, if you were looking at this with normal streetlights, that wouldn't be the case. Yes? Oh, I don't know. It's fine. I think in a sense, this wall would be darker. Where is it? Oh God. Oh, it's wonky. It's fine, because I can draw that one on top. Just gonna do that so I can see where the error lines are. Oh, and they are huge. That's straight. I'm thinking now that I should have started over here. Oh, and I see where that suffered. Okay. God damn it, how did that even happen? Now time to make that look a little more accurate. It's not inherently incorrect. If I... go like that, maybe? Is that what the issue is? Kind of. I need to go... like that. And then... I need to go straight down. Then I can take this color from the layer. Is that on top? Yes, it is. That's fine. You just have to be careful. Wait, no, because now... okay. Angles. No. What's happened here is a classic case of I did it stupidly. Yes. And then I'm going to take that one back, but I'm going to go underneath it so as to avoid a mental breakdown. Don't piss me off. No one will notice this small error in the corner here. I guarantee it. If I go to any of the books on my bookshelf, there will be at least one error somewhere. Oh my god, it's beginning to look like a 3D object! And now I'm really enjoying how that's looking. Just like that. Where is that layer, by the way? Premium. Wait, where'd the noise go? That's not good. I've lost the layer. There it is. Why is that a separate thing? There we go. Now, I should, if I look at the sketch, be able to just copy that straight over there. I think. Yes. Oh. Actually, I should mark out all the places where the light should come through. Light sources. There should be some coming through there, here, also here, and just in that little bit here, but not there. Meaning my light should go like that. And if I'm smart, I'll remember to do this on various opacities. And then I think also I'll have a bit of light coming through here. And that will just go onto the garden. It is a little strange in how the light is working in this picture, but whatever. I also want to go pour myself some tea and take a short break. So I'm just gonna take a short break. No one's watching. Okay. I'm going to go to this. I'm going to add some text. There we go. That should be fine. And then And I am back. Just have to do a quick test to see if it is scuffed or not. And I am back. Wait a minute. Yes, okay. For a moment there I thought my microphone settings were not going through. But they are. We back. Oh, no, don't pause the stream, that's the... Gotta have the preview somehow. Okay. I want to make it to 2 hours, which means 10 minutes, which means I did just take a rather pointless break. Anyway, which element of the house do I want to do next? Lighting. I'll still do the lighting. Okay, where's the screen there? Okay. What I should do is this. That's the sketch layer. Cool. Okay. Now what I just did there was called stupid. But I don't know exactly how I managed it. Okay. This one here should still be the same. That is not the tool I wanted to be using. It's good that I haven't drawn that in yet. There it is. I'm going to turn that down, because I kind of already have that information. That's part of the door. There. And there should be the same. Take that to 30%. That one, probably more damp. I guess I'm implying that this front door opens into one open section where there's light, and I might not draw that couch in. Ooh, detail for me. Wait, no chat reset. Aw, sad. Let me just... Yes, this is a chat box. Unless the overlay isn't working, in which case I should cry. Yes, okay. It's still working. It's not over. Yet. Who said my room needed to be this cold? It's ridiculous. Ah, nope. There we go. Radio, and this is without the actual frames that I would be adding to the doors and walls and such. I love tea. Cool. Then this one. Both of these should be on add. This one needs to be lens blur. And then I need to change this one's color to match this. Not sure how I'm going to achieve that exactly. Great. Love that for me. Probably just have to use the filter. Increase saturation. That's doing nothing. Okay. Instead what I should do is what I should have done before, but a little more proactively. Which is just to take that and to stretch it to the proportions I want. Actually, even better idea. Is to imagine it as though it were the room. so to speak. No, that's not quite effective. That's what I want, because I still want it to appear as though someone with a sentient mind made it. There you go. Like that. And then this one I slightly dim. Just a little less. Not that. This one gets blurred, but isn't going to be as prominent. There we go. Windows. Wait a minute. If those light sources are there, then that lattice on the roof. Oh well, yeah, like the lattice bit won't have a shadow. That's kind of sad. I enjoy drawing that part. Oh well. Oh my god, I just remembered something I wanted to do ages ago. Definitely not procrastinating on any feature of this house. Where is it? There. Is that an odd shape? No, it's not. It's fine. The way that I want to do this house involves paneling. Layer that color. It's a very simple trick. It goes we. And I just want it to be, oh, so close. There we go. I like shortcuts. There we go. Very easily paneling hack. Slash very simple wood trick. Slash whatever you want it to be. Don't pressure me. This is playing background music, right? I'm not just like awkwardly sitting in silence. Because that's not my vibe. You know what? I don't even want to think about that door right now. I want to think about things like that. The layer order matters. Now, this is a beautiful chance to talk about, oh god, why is it everywhere? Why you should not take advice from me, ever. It's because I don't really know what I'm doing. And that's okay. That's fine for me. It works. But for most people who want to achieve success in life, whatever you do, avoid my advice. Including the advice to ignore my advice. Because sometimes I drop a bombshell and it's awesome. Okay. And then I get to do this. Oh my god, it's layer 69. Is that all of them? Yes, cool. And then I can copy that, put it here. Need that to be just slightly taller. There we go. So I could hardly even notice there's anything happening incorrectly in this area at all. I see no errors, no faults. Everything on my record is absolutely perfect. And I know entirely how to fix this problem that I've created for myself. By trying to fix it earlier? No. What's happened here then? It's right on the... It's very solvable. I think I just need to very carefully make a selection. No, I should be able to... I don't know. Okay, so what I'm learning is that life is suffering. Oh wait, hold on. No, what's happened there then? What do you miss? Yes, that's identifiable as that. I've just done something incorrectly. And that is called doing that on the same layer. It's just this area. Undo. I don't want that. I just want that space filled. I'm gonna do it in this color. I'm going to do it in the mesh. It's like a 2x2. I think I see part of the problem now. I should do it on there, so I can see what I'm doing ever so slightly better. Okay. What are you doing? Oh, I've got it on the wrong thing. That's why. Please be nice to me. It's fine if there's overlap into the wall there. It's not so fine if there's overlap into areas like this. Except I'm pretty sure that layer is actually above it. No, that's not going to help. What is happening here? You know what? I'm gonna do a little thing called hope that no one picks up on it. And if I'm lucky, I'll survive. If I'm unlucky, I won't. It's a good thing I have a reputation for being lucky, and nothing else. Error? What error? And then what I'm going to do is a sneaky little trick I like to call crying. There. Let me just... And no one will notice anything because they'll be too distracted by the glorious wings. Yeah. Alright. Let's go over here and there. Oh, that is in fact not on top of that layer. What happens if it is? Like that. that might have actually solved part of the problem. But only if I close my eyes hard enough. Solving my problems one at a time. I can see this issue. Solvable by going like that. Down. Perfect. It's almost beginning to look like a finished piece. And not like a bunch of sketches. I can probably take a... what's that? No idea. Okay, where's that other sketch layer? It's a good thing I label my things. No, wouldn't that be intelligent? Oh, that's too high. I don't care. That is a 2-hour stream. And I'm kind of happy with the progress I've made. I have mixed feelings about that gap there. Because on one hand it shows that the feathers aren't completely dense. I'm not looking forward to doing the roof. But there are worse situations to be in. I should finish the lighting, actually. And then I think I shall call it a night. And by call it a night, I mean stop streaming and do my homework. I love university. Okay. The other thing I have not at all, thought about is... where is it? It's there. I don't know if that's the outer frame of the window or not. I didn't actually focus on that part. Yeah. Do I want to flip that? I think I do. Oh my god, you made it. Oh, I was just thinking of ending stream. I'm doing an art stream. And sometimes questions don't need to be asked. Make that a little more dim. Did I do that wrong? I did. I did do that wrong. Sometimes I hit the wrong button. There we go. Just like that. What are you up to, Barry? Oh, good morning, or good evening, I don't know. I personally have taken to waking up at around midday. I go to bed at 6 AM. Wake up 12:30. Leave. Go to uni. Go back home. Try. Do art. Worry about homework. The use. Oh, that's so wonky. I don't care. There's an angel in the background. It can be wonky. Okay. Thank you. I pretty much only did these wings here, and then I copy and pasted. Because I think if I spent the entire stream doing them, I would cry a little bit to myself. Like, this is what you missed out on. I know it's a very small window, but you can see exactly how I did the wings over here. I originally started out by sketching them a little bit more, like with more detail, and then I just went, no. But yeah. I have a special brush that I use for feathers. Yeah, you see the point where I just went, yeah, screw it. In it goes. It's getting copy and pasted. Also, a few times I've looked away, and then I've looked back and I've thought, because I've got my phone open to see chat, and I just think, you know what, these antlers on my head could be wings. There's no canon lore as to what this creature is, aside from it being a drawing that was cut out of paper. Little paper puppet. Now, I'm not sold on the color palette of this. All the hues at the moment are just placeholder. Who am I kidding? I'll probably end up getting rid of that eye, because originally that was the sun. I do like it being a sun. I just wanted to test it out as being not a sun. Because I also like that vibe. I don't know. It depends on how surreal I want to go. Yeah, because the original sketch of this little creature was technically partially a bird. Like, there's a beak. Like, let's see if I can find it. Yeah. And on the separated limbs version of this will be fun. Yes, there it is. I can talk like that. If the canvas is switched. My thing's... yeah, there we go. But yeah, I'm thinking of rigging this into a proper VTuber model, but not for Twitch. I want to use it for just YouTube videos, where I think my first few videos will be me telling increasingly incorrect facts. The best way to combat political misinformation is by spreading fictional misinformation. That's a lie. Don't do that. It's actually very dangerous. However, it's also my favorite style of comedy. Just blatantly incorrect information. Blah, 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 blah. Misinformation, my beloved. Another thing I can do with this one is I can just rotate it. I'm not sure if I want to use the rotate, which is how it would work with these thumbtacks, or not. It depends on what's easiest to, like, animate and stuff. But yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah. Close that one. Yeah, whatever. Did not close it. But yeah, I think the sun makes more sense with the palette. But I'll see how the next video goes. I pretty much make the book covers whenever, and then I schedule them on TikTok for Mondays and Thursdays at 2:50 a.m. Because that was the first time I went with, and then I went, alright, same time, every week, let's go. And at the moment, the palette is looking very similar to the next upload that is scheduled. And I'm not sure if I want to keep working in a pattern of using the same palettes, because I did neons, like really bright, high saturation colors, and these ones are sort of more in the same range. They're not really. I like to, hold on, let's see if I can. I'm gonna do a little bit of color theory, but not really. At the moment, I've been working with this sort of range, which is the warm palette, usually here as well, with a little less saturation, a little darker, and then with only the light tones being in the yellow hue section. Whereas a lot of my first ones was the hold on, there's a really beautiful image I can use to depict this. If I go like that, yeah. Using just the high chroma. And that's mainly because of the Lobster challenge. And if I check the first one I did, which is the design arc, which was like a poster for the project that I'm doing, it's just immediately bright. Then the next one's more green, but even though there's blue in the high chroma palette, it's not a cool, I don't know how to describe the crisis I'm having with color at the moment. I just don't want to get stuck into using the same pattern of colors. I've also started moving where the text is instead of being in the center. Not for this one, because it's like a standard fantasy cover. It is very centered in those books. But, yeah. It's all about matching genre. Oh no, hold on. Oh, thank God. Oh, I thought I had copied a cover of another book. I hadn't. Whew. Unless there's an alternative cover for it that I've seen. No, I've survived. I'm trying to fight all the book covers looking the same. They can have the same vibe, same energy, but they can't be the same. And what frequently happens is that you just get the same cover again and again. I don't know if you've ever gotten into this particular area of art looking at cover design, but there's drama. Book design trend. Yeah, here's a great spread showing what people are calling the book blob. All those books followed, essentially, they're different, but they're the same principle of being just blobs of colour. Which, look, I like textured blobs and colours, but you don't know anything about these books based off those covers. And then the romance genre had some trouble go down because of the cartoon style covers. Because people were like, oh, they think we're looking at kid stuff, but they're having sex for 10 pages. And chilly. Oh god, why is that all AI? Romance cartoon styles book cover. Yeah. Because it's all very simple. It's eye-catching, but in a way that isn't complex or really requiring any eye strain. I mean, these books literally have the same palette. Come on. Try a little originality now and again. Yeah, it's fully corporate style. Melbourne has this art style as well. Melbourne, let's see if it has a name, or if I'm just going to call it the Melbourne Blob style. Art style. But a while ago it just started being corporate blobs, and it's upsetting to me because I like to have fun with art, and I think consistency is incredibly overrated. Yeah, it's very corporate. But even just looking at fantasy book trends and like their covers, it's so hard to want to read books when they literally all look the same. Especially, like, they're pretty, they're not ugly or anything, it's just, I want them to look different. Like, these are different authors entirely. Like, that's Lee Bardugo, I recognize that book. But this is that sort of embedded in a pattern. And it's sort of part of this observation in literature, and especially pop literature, of people caring more about the aesthetic vision rather than the political or literature mission of, like, actually trying to do stuff. So, on one hand, these are all three different genres. That's mainly your general fiction, that's romance, that's fantasy. and on one hand it's good that you can distinguish between them. However, I'm not convinced on these covers sometimes, because they don't always have detail about the book. Let's see. Now I'm just talking about book covers. My absolute favourite book is this one. It's got a very simple cover. Like, there's nothing complicated about it. But it tells you how many chapters there are. I think. No, actually I don't know what those numbers are for. I couldn't tell you. I think there's probably, if I read the book again, I'll figure it out. But all of these are references to the books. Like, those are all things that happen. And so it's a very simple, plain cover design, but it easily conveys the vibe of the book. It's one of my absolute favorite books. It's a really weird book, but I recommend it if you ever have time to read. I also don't know how easy it is to get a copy. Ian Banks is sort of crazy. And then, but sometimes you just need to overlook the cover entirely, especially with independent publications. So if I look for the Foxhole Court, we're gonna play a little game. I'm going to put a book cover up here. I just know that my computer is overheating. It does not like this many layers being open, but oh well. I want you to guess what this book is about. The Foxhole Court. Because this series is sort of famously, it's loved. The community loves this book. But also, if anyone tells us, is it good? Do you recommend it? It's sort of like, it is not sci-fi. I wish it was sci-fi. There are no sci-fi or fantasy elements in this book. Feel free to take another guess, or I can just tell you what it's about, because... Oh... Alright. This book is a sports queer romance where the main character is on the run from the mafia. And also, the different sports teams are low-key trying to kill each other. But just a little bit, because they're also affiliated with the mafia, but in a way that is different to the main character, without spoiling too much. Yep, sports, romance, mafia. It's beautiful. And there are still books being released in the series. I think it gets slightly more relevant as the series continues. It's only by the third book that it begins to look like it has anything related to sport. Also, it's a fictional sport that doesn't exist in real life. So reading this series, you have to pick together the pieces of who the hell is this main character? Someone in this book is gay. This guy just got drugged. Also, that guy's dead now. And then at the same time, what are the rules of this game? I'd say it's more sports mafia than sports romance as well. It's suddenly a handful. But you know what? I recommend it. I'm not even gonna lie. It's worth reading in that once you've read it, you will begin to feel like your life has changed a little bit. Because the hold this fandom has on the character art extends to people in other fandoms. I wonder if I can find any really famous ones. But, yeah. It often gets confused with the anime Haikyuu. for reasons that should become obvious. If I can find one that I can credit the artist for at the same time. Because I don't like to not credit the artist. Oh, that's a good piece. No, now I'm just going to get distracted by fan art. Change of plan. Get back to the art. I'll do art for a little bit longer. Because originally, I was going to stop doing it after I did those light sources, but now I'm thinking, well, you're here, Barry. I'll stay alive for a little bit. Help you wake up. And then I need to do my work. Oh, and I have to think about how roofs look. Ugh. I'm so glad I'm not an architecture student. Okay, where are my light sources? They are all called layer 21. Oh, beautiful. I think I'm gonna keep making the windows yellow. Oh wait, no, this one doesn't really have a light source because it's blocked. Do I want to bother adding it though? No. The way that I've directed it here, it's a very slim opening for light to cone out of. I should learn more terms for art and describing what I'm doing. Oh well. Alright, I'm gonna do that. But I'm going to remember that it's not very... You know what? I can even help myself out a little more here. The mesh. Me. Magic. Yeah, that's how light looks. Yeah, and that can also tell me where exactly I want my curtains to go. Ooh, free transform actually. Just a section. Whee. There we go. Yep, that's how physics and light works. And then, but now it's a different colour to those. Oh, I don't remember how I got those colours at all. I should have thought about that more when I was doing it at the very beginning. But I didn't. That's my own fault. And I still have to do the roof. Nope, there's a door here though, so it's fine. The door definitely needs to be the same colour. Alright. What I should do is that. Make it normal. And then I should be able to colour pick that. And then... Yeah, that looks correct. There we go. And then I can go like that. And lessen it. And then add depth. Oop, free transform is still on. Excellent. Should really check what YouTube's doing. It still says no copyright. That's the important part. Making sure YouTube isn't going to kill me. Yeah, that's how houses work. I don't even want to talk about how janky this corner is. When people look at a book, it's from very far away. And what you can tell, obviously from here, once a roof exists, of course, they're angel wings, they're the house. And then, of course, the actual cover title will be on there. But you have to... A lot of people need to go a little bit closer to actually read it. I should probably blur these over here. And then motion blur. Because then I control the direction. There we go. Or back, oh yeah, houses, yeah. No, what essentially happens is that I think, oh, maybe I can draw a person, and then I give up. In the next upload I have on TikTok, because I've already scheduled it, I first attempted to draw a cat. In fact, a little sneak peek for you. If it will load. But you can fully see the point where I give up. How big can I make this before it crashes my computer? Yeah. But yeah, you see the cat starts, and then I stretch it out, and I try some weird color things, and then I give up, and I sketch new cats. And that's pretty much how it goes with drawing people as well. Especially drawing people with a mouse. It's hard. I can pretty much only draw people if I've got my hand and a pencil. And then backgrounds, if I have a subject matter in the focus, I'm horrible at backgrounds. Generally though, I find it somewhat relaxing to sketch a background. The coloring process and making it look like this instead of just a sketch, however it is, it's somewhere here, it's very different. Now, where is it gone? Where's my sketch gone? Oh no. Did I delete it at some point? No, it's here. It's just, yeah, there we go. So you can see more of the sketch there. It very much exists. And actually drawing that, very relaxing. I'm wondering if this is a little too chaotic now. I don't know. Worst case scenario, I take the whole thing and I make it bigger. Just so it's more in your face. What a word. Yeah, that's the other thing. I need to make sure that you can read the text. Very important detail. Because at the moment, it's looking like I need to do something here to make that. Maybe if I do a sneaky little blur. Or like a drop shadow, or whatever it's called. That could potentially work, but I don't think it's doing enough. And also drop shadows in fonts and stuff kind of end up looking worse. Technically this is fun. The of needs to be different. Let's see if I can work this out. I probably can't. No. Yeah, the of is a difficult one because it sort of needs to it needs to stick out against those wings. But how? Shiny. Wondering if I just go like that. That might work. And the of can be smaller as well. And now I'm thinking, do I want to move that of to be more centered? Oop. Let me move it, please. Great, excellent. I'll have to do that manually later. But yeah, because that up close isn't too bad. Yeah. I don't know, houses drive me crazy. It's really about getting rid of as many details as possible. that I can get away with without it looking bum cheeks. And why did I... No, I really like a cover with lots of detail. It's like my favourite thing ever. But also, pain in the ass. Pain in the ass. Hate doing it. I'm not sure if I can be bothered to do more of this right now. No. I know what I must do. Where is it? Okay. That's where the lighting is. So then on this one, I'm gonna call it window frames. I should also save my work to fight my demons. I often found myself wanting to jump to the bits I want to do, like the plants. Those will be fun, but if I do the plants first, I'll have to do lots of moving around of the layers, which I don't want to do. Okay. My favorite window frame is the door. Yeah. Oh, that's looking a little cursed. Not that. That's... no, okay. I demand a different brush. Yeah, that should work. I would describe myself as being pretty lazy with picking brushes. Ooh. And generally, the artistic process. Okay, then the door should go there. Excellent. Back on the job. Do. Oh, now here's an issue. I'll get around to it later. It will be fine. I do think... earlier I was wondering where I want the window frames to be defined, and I'm thinking there's fine. Oh, but then that's... That should work fine. And then I can copy it over there. And this is supposed to be stained glass, so I'll figure that out as well. Go. Lazy. Actually, you know what would be smart? If, while I have that there, if I also establish where the cross panels go. There we go. That's off center. That is still off center. Oh no. Yeah, it's good enough. It's a little scuffed, but that's fine. Being scuffed is the vibe. Come back. No, that seems unwise. Okay. Nope, that's mesh. Don't want the mesh right now. There we go. On one hand, it should be bigger, because it is closer. But how big can I make it before it looks ridiculous? And also, it needs to be more like there to make sense. Which means I have to go into lighting and fix that ever so slightly. This should be fine. Do 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 magic, la la la. That's true. Houses can be really weirdly structured when it comes to windows. I've got 2 windows in my bedroom. One of them just looks at nothing, and the other one looks at the entrance to the house. But to be fair, my room was originally where a fireplace was meant to be, and then that's been paved up, and that's where my bed is. Unfortunately, my room is extremely cold, which is not something I used to complain about. When I had an air conditioner in my room, I'd always set it to 16 degrees, and if you need that translated into Fahrenheit, I can get that, but I don't know. Hold on. 16 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. To 60 degrees. Okay, back to house. Maybe next I can do curtains. Anything but the roof. Anything but the roof. Okay. How do I want to do these? Okay. I'm just gonna start off, I'm just gonna do these with placeholder things in mind. So rule 1, it cannot go past the length of the door frame, sorry, the window frame. Because then it wouldn't make any sense. Not that anyone's looking like super close. Your room's usually like 6 Celsius? Well, to be fair, I don't know the temperature of my room right now. And I don't really know how to check it. Hold on. I do know how to check it. Or at least I know how to tell what the temperature of outside is. And then I don't think my room is much warmer. Alright, it's about 7 degrees in my room. But yeah, it's not bad, it's not freezing. But it's just a little colder than I want it to be. Okay. Yeah, I also really like the cold. The heater in my room is really ineffective. But that's why I have tea. My tea is all iced tea tonight, but somewhat self-inflicted. Ah, not like that. Well, actually I don't mind that. Yes. The cold is just... I don't know, I feel like people who complain about the cold are people who are like... How do I describe this type of thing? The other people I know who complain about the cold also complain about things being too complicated. To put it that way. Which has never quite made sense to me. Come back, lines, I need you still. There we go. That should warp in a way that is helpful. Okay. What we have now are some very nice curtains. Alright, yes, I've made so many advancements. There we go. Curtain. And see. That's probably fine. I should have extra darkness there. And I can have silhouettes. I will have to redo the light in that window. Cool. Yeah, these ones be closed. Slip. There you go. Life hacks with curtains. Oh my god, I can add patterns to the curtains. No, that's too much detail. Is it worth having that much detail? Maybe. Maybe worth having that much detail. Not right now. That might be a final touches thing that I do. Right, over here. Ah, this window is going to be broken, if I recall correctly. So I can probably do something fun over here. Like that. Do I like that? Do I vibe with that? No, not particularly. It's fine. We'll just presume... no. I want there to be some amount of curtain over here. Just to say that there are curtains. Perhaps. Okay. I should duplicate that so I don't forget it exists. Where's it? Where are you, Mesh? Why do you only happen when I don't want you here? I can probably have it flowing out of where the break in the window is going to be. That's something I can do. And then the window frame's over here. Let's do it on this one. Okay, let's see if this will succeed or not. It's a very fun game. Gambling! No, I don't want that many. Ooh. I am strong and powerful, and I know how this works. Nope. There we go. Should that even be there? No. That should be just over here. But also thinner. There's an obvious answer to this dilemma I'm in. I'm not going to use it. Ah, it's absolutely not that one. But I should have a brush that should be helpful for this, but I don't want to bother with it right now. I'm getting tired, I need to save some energy for my homework. Oh my god, I know what I can do here. Guidelines! Yippee! Hold on. Even smarter. That'll make sense in a moment. Ah. And I go like that. That. Go here. Bigger. More of an angle. Up there, I think. And there's that looking a little more, not more like a door, but more like it has a point of interest. Oh my god, I have to do more about that door, don't I? Ah, pain. This is the most detailed what I've done for this little project of mine, and I'm not having regrets, but I'm wondering if it was a smart decision after all. What's some window art I can look at? Ah. Oh. Ow, my back. It hurts. No, the window art ideas are too complicated. Probably because it needs to be glass on. Why do I bother? I mean, I could probably make it look... If I do it there, I do it on that one, but just here, because I don't hate myself that much. That's frustrating. I need to move that, but it won't let me. Wait, gotta turn that guideline off, or it will bite me in the ass. What am I doing? Then I go like that. So very descriptive with my process here, mainly because I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe that's a better way to introduce the eye motif, instead of having it as the sun. Yes, me think yes. Me think good language, go hard. There we go. And then I can do something particularly fun, called turn all the layers off until there's flatness underneath, or else Medivang will cry. Yeah, like that. And then I should be able to create window panes. That's how you spell that. Sure. Today it is. God damn it. Why? Can I? No, I can't do it on layer. Oh, but that works. Okay. Could be a little better there. Whee. And then I'll make the top yellow. I might just do myself a little favor here and just expand by 1 pixel. Yeah, that's already looking better. Oh, not there. Do that. This is definitely how houses are meant to look. Excuse me. There we go. And then that will impact the actual color of the light highlights, once I figure out how it is I want to achieve that goal. And then I think for this window here, put that so. Actually that's a bad standard to set for myself, and that's correct actually. I'll do that instead, because I don't want it to come out green. Curtains need to be behind the window panes, yes. Oh. And this one too. And then going to texture them using sketch. That's probably fine. But I'm going to change it. Overlay. And then this should be color. Hold on. Should do this for myself. There you go. Now that looks like there's some funky stuff happening there, which also brings more color into the overall piece. Good, yes, Barry, draw. Do all the drawing. Does that make me want more eye or less eye in the piece? it's difficult to make decisions about stuff like this. And I really need to do my homework. So I might actually end stream here. Thank you. I wish I had stained windows like these. My grandma does stained glass art. I'd probably ask her if she wants to do that for me. She wouldn't like it, but I'd make her do it anyway. Oh, I want a warm cup of tea. Why do I only make iced tea? That's a foolish move to make. Yeah. Alright. It's making sense. And that's the important part. For now. For now it is making sense. I need to add the plant pots there to make it feel like the house is more alive, but also a bit bizarre. Yeah. Alright. Oh, this big stretch. Alright. What are you drawing, Barry? There's so much stream delay. Yes. Oh my god, yes, random landscape. It's very fun. Actually, if you want to, I have a Discord server that I have not plugged at all. I think I've mentioned it a few times, but I might put that in chat. If I can find my link. Where is it? There it is. Copy. It's my Discord. It's a bit of a mess right now, but work in process. In progress? Work? Oh god. Yes. It exists. And it's fun there. Not much happening at the moment. And if there are any problems, please feel free to tell me. But yeah, I'm gonna end stream now. Thank you for coming. This was much longer than my Hero Realm stream. It was, oh my god, it was 3 hours. Failed this assignment. No, it'll be fine. Bye bye.